Hey friends, it's me Alyssa and I am back with Live in Local Atlanta. I'm here with my super talented friend Edford Banuel. He is a TV executive. He's here in Atlanta. He's really making great entertaining content. And you've got a show in specific, the Level Up Experience, that I want to talk to you about today.
Sure, absolutely.
Awesome. I'm so glad you're here with me today. And I want to just take a chance to allow people to get to know you a little bit and talk about your experience. Now, you're a Howard graduate, so we can start
Correct.
there. We'll start there with the story, if you will.
HU, you know.
Awesome. So talk to us about how did you find your calling in television, and really where did you get your start?
Really, it started when I was young. You know, my mother, who's a single mom, she exposed me and my sister very early to the arts. You know, one of our outlets were going to plays. She loved to take us to different plays, Broadway plays in New York. And I remember one of the plays I went to was to go see the Tap Dance Kid. And I was just really inspired by that Broadway play. And then later on, you know, as I was growing up, watching like shows such as The Cosbys and Different World really inspired me to want to be able to showcase, you know, black families on television.
I love that. And growing up as Puerto Rican, I agree. It's very hard to find shows that feel like we're all getting represented, and just when we are on screen, it wasn't always the best or most favorable light. So it is nice to see those types of wholesome, lighthearted, feel-good programming that showed everybody in an appropriate way. So I think that's incredible. Now I want to talk about your current project, the Level Up Experience, and that's with AUC. You're working with some students, and
Yes.
it's a competition show. Is that right?
Yes, it is a competition show. So the Level Up Experiment is going to be distributed through Aspire TV. The show is basically showcasing young black scholars from the AUC, taking them through a rites of passage from the classroom and giving them real-world experience in the world of business. We're partnering up with a lot of successful businesses here in Atlanta, and we're taking the students through opportunities where they can gain skill sets that will not only help them in their personal life, but also help them with real-world work experience.
Let's talk about how the concept was born behind this show. What was the moment, or where did the idea come from?
Sure. So I was hired as my production company, Room for Us Productions, was hired to film content for organizations such as Inroads. They were producing a lot of HBCU content, showcasing students going through a incubator style program. And I got the idea. I said, we need to have something like this on television, where we showcase these young scholars and highlight them in a way that's not demeaning but empowering.
I love that. I think a lot of people sometimes forget reality TV can be very informative and educative, and we get lost and swept up in Real Housewives and the Kardashians, and I think the D'Amelios have a show now. So
Yeah.
we get caught up in thinking that reality TV can be very surface and very vapid sometimes,
Sure.
when really there's this whole other world of reality TV that can be uplifting, can teach us things, and really goes inside what goes on in real life, what's happening for Americans every day, and I love that.
Absolutely.
I want to talk about now, this obviously isn't day one for you, this isn't your first project.
Yeah.
Let's take a walk down memory lane and talk about some of your other projects you've done. You've worked with a lot of other great people as well.
Sure, absolutely. Just kind of going back into how I began with filmmaking, I started off doing like short films. And one of my earlier accomplishments was, at the time, Showtime Networks had a Black Filmmaker Showcase where I submitted a short film and was selected to receive a $30,000 grant. And then after that, I ended up moving forward to shoot another project, which actually aired on the network. But since then, I recently directed an independent feature film. It's written by urban fiction novelist Nikki Turner. It's called On the Run. ONDARUN, and you can find that on Tubi right now.
That is so awesome, and Tubi is such a great platform.
Yes.
Really, I feel like it's the hero we didn't ask for, but we
I
absolutely
know.
need it.
Exactly.
Especially in this world of streaming, sometimes it just feels like there's way too much, and Tubi has just everything you're looking for.
Oh my
so.
gosh, I'm telling you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I'm definitely gonna have to watch that for sure,
Yes.
and make sure I add it to my watch list. Now, I do want to go ahead and let people know how they can watch the Level Up experience, where they should watch it,
Sure.
all of the logistics behind that.
So currently, we're actually in production right now as we speak. We're going to be filming the Level Up experiment until February of 2024. Thereafter, the anticipated release date will be June of 2024.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. So can you walk us through kind of the timeline of how a reality show kind of gets made? How long does filming take place?
Sure.
Sounds like there's about 3 to 5 months of editing, if you will.
Yes.
How does all of that work?
That's a great question. So it really starts with the idea, putting together a pitch deck. That's the first starting point. And then after you have a pitch deck, then you have to find an outlet to pitch it to, whether it be a streaming platform, whether it be a network. And so for me, I pitched the idea to Aspire TV. And after I pitched it, they loved the idea because they wanted to have content that was focused on HBCU culture, And so this fit in line with what their vision of what they want to do with the network. And then from that point on, the next step of that is just getting the project financed, and then the shooting process, which is a whole process by itself because you have so many elements that you have to bring together between the crew, the talent, the special guests to make it all come to life. So one thing I will say is television and film projects is very much of a collaborative effort.
I love that. I love hearing those behind the scenes intricacies from a different side of media. It's like I kind of run the show. I'm a one-woman show. I do everything on my own. So it's so cool to hear kind of how another side of media works and what you all do to put on these great and entertaining shows. What's been your favorite part of this experience so far?
Well, I would say my favorite part of this experience is just really watching an idea that's something that started with just as a simple idea and coming to fruition to me, and then now watching all these group of people come together to help the vision come to life.
That is so wonderful. I love hearing those stories where, people sit here and they're like, I had this little flower seed in my brain and I just kept watering it and now you have a full garden. So I'm so excited about that. Now the show is airing, you said, in June.
Yes, so that's the anticipated date.
Perfect. June 2024. And that is so wonderful. Edford, how can people stay in touch with you? How can they read about your projects? Where can they watch some of your other projects?
Absolutely. That's a great question. So you can find me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Banuel Life. You can find me on Facebook at Edford Banuel, and then you can also find me on LinkedIn at Edford Banuel.
Wonderful. I love it. This is Live and Local Atlanta. I'm Alyssa, and of course, make sure you download the free Odyssey app today. That's AUDACY inside the App Store. Once it's downloaded, go ahead and favorite Star 94 Atlanta so you can get notified as soon as a live and exclusive conversation just like this one drops. And don't forget to give me a follow across all social media at itsme_Licity. I'll see you guys next time.